Hey everybody, welcome to another chapter of the book of Sean. It's good to see you. How you doing? I hope you've had a wonderful day. And in the unlikely event that you've had the worst day of your life, you made a great decision because we're going to make you feel better. I have a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk to a blessed sister about friendship and how difficult it is, the comings and the goings of people who move in and out of your life. And sometimes people leave without your permission, and sometimes people leave before they even had a chance to be there long enough for you to determine if you like them. I don't know what her story is with friendship. I know that she has one. And I know that you have had ups and downs with your friends, as I have had with mine. Listen, you can't be 20-something, 30-something, 40, 50-something years old and not had a story to tell about friends, okay? I can't wait to hear hers. All right, Ashia is going to tell us her wonderful story. We're going to do some Ask Dr. Sean tonight, and we're going to do some headlines. So y'all better settle in, people, okay? Take your shoes off. This is going to be a ride. Let's do some headlines right now. So, shout out to the Rappahannock Tribe of Virginia. Did you hear about this story? The Native American tribe, this Native American tribe, reacquired 465 acres of their sacred land from which they had been displaced for 400 years. The Department of Interior acknowledged and released statements confirming the fact that they had allowed the tribe to reacquire the land. And in a part of one of those statements, they said, "We look forward to drawing upon the tribal expertise and indigenous knowledge and helping manage the areas of wildlife and habitat." And can I just simply say that I'm really happy for this tribe. I'm really happy for the Rappahannock Tribe to be getting some of their land back. I think it's important that in 2022 that we right historical wrongs. You can't just sit around and act like things didn't happen. They did happen, okay? Took these people's lands 400 years ago. And it's about time that they have some redress, some remuneration, as it were. But it just goes to show you what happens when you fight for what you want and when you fight and stand up for yourself. It just goes to show you that when you stand up for yourself, good things can happen. And when you don't stand up for yourself, you're only going to get what you already got. The Rappahannock Tribe stood up for themselves, and they decided whether this takes us 400 years or 4,000 years, we want our land back. And guess what happened? They reacquired their land, 465 acres of it. Here's what I know for sure. I know nobody can fight better for you than you can fight for yourself. I don't care how much they love you. I don't care if they gave birth to you. I don't care if they raised you. I don't care if they taught you in the second grade. Nobody is going to fight better for you than you can fight for yourself, because the passion and the reasons for which you fight are uniquely the purchase of your mind, your experience, and your emotion. Other people may fight with you, but you fighting for yourself, listen, nothing is more valuable than that. When it's all said and done, most people won't even fight for you or with you until you start fighting for yourselves. Don't expect people to run out and do things for you that you're not willing to do for yourself. Don't expect people to make the sacrifices that you're not willing to make. People follow your lead when you are the point of what they're trying to accomplish and trying to help. Can't just sit back and let other people do it for you. You got to be on the front lines, especially when you're fighting for something that you care about. Am I doing my good talking? Yes, I am. See, when you've been injured and someone has taken something from you that you value and that's important to you and special to you, you have a moral obligation to make a decision that you're going to get it back. Don't let people just take what's valuable from you and get away with it. Don't let people walk away with the things that make you feel good about yourself or give you joy. If it's yours and somebody has taken it, stolen it, you have a moral obligation to work as hard as you can to get it back. Because if I care about it and love it, and you come to get it, you're going to have to rip it out of my cold, dead hands. You follow what I'm saying to you? You can't have my future. No, you cannot. You can't have my destiny. You can't have my children. You can't have none of that. If you come for that, you're going to have to rip it out my cold, dead hands. That's how much I'm fighting for it. When it's all said and done, people who want to trample over you need to know that you may try it, but it won't be easy. As for the Interior Department stating that they want to use the expertise and the great knowledge of the Native American tribe to take the lead on how to care about the land, I think that's a really good idea. because clearly the rest of us don't know what we're doing. All right, let's move on, people. Let's talk about college, okay? I'm a big proponent of college. Steve-O knows this. I'm a college guy. I'm a college graduate school kind of guy. Listen, best years of my life, college and graduate school. But apparently, Steve-O, college enrollment is down. It's plummeting. Apparently, according to a national estimate, college enrollment has diminished more than 5%, which translates into enrollment loss of nearly 1 million students. And I suppose the cost of college has a lot to do with it, right? I still don't know why colleges cost so much. Both of my sons went to Morehouse College. Shout out to Morehouse College, by the way, okay? Both of my sons went to Morehouse College. And, you know, obviously I had to pay for it with a little help from the bank and the government. But I still don't know why it costs so much money to send these knuckleheads to school, okay? These are my little babies. I love them so much. But I was just thinking, this is a lot of money, okay? Why does college cost so much? And I suspect the price of how much it literally costs has played a part in the diminishment of enrollment. But I also think the other reason is young people don't see the value, you know, of college. See, the other thing is college now has to compete with YouTube and other social media platforms where kids now can make pretty good money and live a pretty good life, you know, trying to be a social media influencer. And they'd rather do that than sit around and read Plato's Republic or Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. Try reading that. Or Kant's first, second, and third critiques. That'll put you to sleep. Try reading some Hegel. You want to take a nap, read Hegel, The Phenomenology of Spirit. You get the point I'm making, Steve-O. The point is this. You'd rather make a video in your basement being decadent or interesting. So now, kids don't really see the value of college. And for too long, college has acted as if they were the gatekeepers to allowing people to get jobs. If you want a good job, you got to go to college. You want a good job, got to go to college. And so college became a function of capitalism. The goal of going to college was to get a job. And now that you don't need to go to college to get a good job, people are like, why am I going to college? No wonder the enrollment is down 5%. 1 million students have walked away. You follow what I'm saying to you? But the goal of college should never have been to get a good job. I've told you this before. The goal of higher education is to cultivate your humanity. That's the goal of higher education, so that you emerge out of the experience having become a better person. Ideas change minds. Minds change character. Character changes behavior. And you end up living a life fundamentally different than the one you might have lived had you never read Plato's Republic, the Nicomachean Ethics, and Immanuel Kant's first, second, and third critique, and the Phenomenology of Spirit, by the way. This guy. See, because you can make a lot of money and still be stupid. You do know that, right? I'm doing my good talking today. It's hot grease over here, boy. You can make a lot of money and still be stupid. You can make a lot of money and still slap somebody in the face on live TV. It wasn't poor people doing that. Rich people were acting a fool. The point I'm trying to make is this. Kids should go to college. And they should go to college not because they want to get better jobs. They should go to college because in America we need to start producing better people. Let's move on, Steve-O. Check this out. So this one's going to get in your craw, okay, Steve-O? This is going to get in your craw too, okay? This is going to get in your craw too. If it don't get in your craw, it's in mine. So, all of you know I was born in New York City. I love New York City. That's my town. Although I live in L.A., New York City is my place. I love New York. Harlem, shout out to 139th and Frederick Douglass, because that's my place, okay? And so I always track what's going on in New York because I'm always emotionally attached to New York. And I was glad to hear that the man has been arrested and charged for hate crimes for attacks against 7 Asian women in New York City. I was glad to hear about that. And according to the authorities, 28-year-old Stephen Zajan, I think I said his name right. I don't know, but that's my attempt at it. He assaulted women. He assaulted women over the course of 2 hours, and thankfully, he was arrested 3 days later. And that's him right there. Take his old seedy face off my screen. I don't want to see him. He don't get no more airtime. He got enough damn airtime. But here's the point I'm making. So Mr. Stephen, who we just showed, and we're not showing again, was indicted on 13 hate crime charges for 6 felony assaults and 7 aggravated harassment charges. He's currently held on Rikers Island for a $50,000 bond. And that's where we pick up the story. A $50,000 bond? What? Did you hear what I just said? He's being held at Rikers Island on a $50,000 bond. Now, unless I got this wrong, and I tend to get things right, you can bond out for 10% of the bond. Unless I got this wrong, and I usually get things right, 10% of $50,000 is $5,000, right? So this guy can put down $5,000 and walk out of jail? Do you think that's right? Do you have any problem with that? We're just talking. It's just me and you. We're just talking, right? Does anybody else have a problem with somebody charged with 13 hate crimes having a $50,000 bond? He can put down 10% and walk out with $5,000 done. What? No. How many times can I say no? No. Something is wrong with this, people. Now, I'm glad we caught him. I'm glad he's in jail. I know some of y'all don't believe in jail, but y'all are crazy. I'm glad he's in jail. He should not be in jail on a $50,000 bond. I'm going to ask you again. The man who went around attacking Asian women is in jail, but he has a bond for $50,000. Let me ask you a question. If he was attacking black women, if he was attacking white women, if he was attacking your woman, would you be okay with the possibility of him coming up with $5,000 and being back on the street to attack more women? I'm almost certain you wouldn't. And I'm not Asian, obviously, but what happens to one happens to us all. If any one of us are being attacked, all of us are being attacked. I don't have to be Asian to care about what happened to Asian women, no more than I have to be white to care what happens to white people, or I have to be rich, because I'm not rich. I care about what happens to people. I know people who've been arrested for selling and smoking marijuana, selling white marijuana particularly, who had a bond higher than $50,000. You follow what I'm saying? Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. But some of us are too dangerous for the rest of us to be sitting around waiting for the proof. Let's move on. Hot grease. That's what I'm cooking with. All right, let's talk about women real quick because I got 2 stories on this. One's been approved and one I'm going rogue on. So I found this in the newspaper, I think this week sometime, that women under 30 are earning equal to their male counterparts, and in some cities they're earning more. And according to a new research study, women under 30 are earning at least as much or more than men in cities such as Washington, D.C., New York City, Los Angeles, and 19 other major cities. And I know this is only, in certain cities, because women nationally across the country still only make 93 cents for every dollar a man makes. But it's still good to know that there's some progress being made on this issue. Even if it's just in these cities, it's just good to know that there's some progress being made, okay? I don't have any daughters. I was not blessed to have daughters, so I'm not a girl dad. But if I had a daughter, I would want my daughter to get everything that she's worth. And if anybody tried to pay my daughter less than what she brought to the table, I would probably not be happy. I'm being kosher. You get my point, right? Listen. There's nothing in me that's able to understand why we pay women less because they're women. Like there's not, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing in me that makes me want to jump out of an airplane. Like I don't even understand that. You hear people jump out of planes? I don't understand why you jumping out of a perfectly safe plane. I don't get that. In a similar fashion, likewise, there is nothing in me that makes me understand what is it about a woman that makes her deserve less money. What? I don't get it. Anyway, let me rush on because this is ridiculous. This is awful. This is insidious. It's embarrassing. It's offensive. I'm not even a woman and this pisses me off. So I can imagine what it's doing for all of the women who are watching right now. This report talks about women under 30. Imagine what's going on with women over 30. They're probably not only not making progress, they're probably losing ground. Makes you wonder, who screwed up the world like this? Like, who screwed up the world like this? It's a rhetorical question, okay? Because I know the answer. I'm just not saying it right now. But we'll talk later. All right, here's my last one, because I got to take this break and they start yelling at me. Ketanji Brown Jackson is going to be on the Supreme Court. Ooh, ooh. I mean, come on, people. Come on, everybody do your happy dance. Who's doing that? You're not doing the happy dance, happy dance. Oh. You got to do your happy dance for the black woman who's going to be on the Supreme Court. Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. I'm excited about this, man. Listen, people, I know I got to go to break. I'm going to go to break, but we just had to celebrate this. A black woman on the Supreme Court, man. And shout out to the Republicans that supported her. Mitt Romney, Susan Collins, and Senator Murkowski, shout out to them for doing what many of us consider to be the blatantly obvious, supporting a overqualified candidates. But shout out to them for that. I'm just saying, if she's not qualified, nobody is, but it doesn't matter. She made it to the court. She was confirmed today, and black women everywhere, lift your head up, sister. Put a smile back on your face. Square up your shoulders and tell the world that you can do it anyhow. Come on, sister. I know you've been through a lot. You born a race on your shoulders. Push the race out your womb. But if God be for you, then who can be against you? And I'm happy for Ketanji Brown Jackson. Huh? I'm happy. Do your best work. Be your best self. And you never know what might happen. You never know where you'll end up. She ended up on the Supreme Court, and you may end up somewhere special too. I like this story. You know why? Because little black girls are smiling everywhere. Let's take a break. Welcome back, everybody. So listen, how many friends do you have? I didn't ask you how many people you know. How many friends do you have? Because you can know a lot of people, and none of those people can be your friends. Your grandma and your mama told you that everybody that smiles in your face is not your friend, right? And it's no less true for you than it is for me, than it is for my guest tonight, Ashia Sims. She is here with a story about friendship, the difficulties, the trials, the triumphs, and the travails of it. Welcome to the show tonight, Ashia Sims. Hey, Ashia.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. You have such a lovely disposition. Thank you for being on tonight. It's my pleasure to have you. So listen, let's get into it, all right? Because I want to cut right to the chase. What's the hardest part with respect to friendship for you? The finding, the keeping, or the understanding of a friend?
Probably the finding.
Say more about that.
It's just not, like you said, everyone that smiles in your face does not automatically make them a friend. And so I believe you have to vet your friends to make sure that they're actually in it for the long haul. It takes time to do that.
So the finding part is the hard part for you. So here's an interesting question. How many friends do you think you've lost, right? Because you're here tonight to talk about that this is a real challenge for you, maintaining friendships, building friendships. So how many friends do you think you've sort of jettisoned and lost?
Not very many. I can think of 2 people who I actually thought were my friends. There were associates of people that I, thought could be friends that aren't friends, but they weren't. They didn't quite make it to that friend designation. So really just a couple.
So in your case, it's not that you've lost a lot of people, it's that you've lost significant people, and the loss of a few significant people, that's what's affecting you, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's important because those are 2 very different things, right? Because the first scenario is you have people coming in and out of your life, and then you start going, well, who the hell can I trust? Because you're going to be here, you're only here for 5 minutes. But in your case, it's much more the case where there are people you built significant connections, significant conversations. You've given them significant, see, I'm playing with significant parts of your heart, only to discover that they walk away. That's a very different emotional place to be in. So here's my question. What has that done to you?
It's made me hold the friends I do have closer. and made me be even more hesitant to call people friends who are new.
Mm. So I'm going to translate that. I'm going to translate that for my audience. Okay. So what it's done is it's made you have a very it's heightened your priority of certain relationships and the value of them, or it's illuminated the value of relationship. But what it's also done is that it's made you sensitive to trust, sensitive to loss. Am I getting this right?
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
okay. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna ask you the same question, just but answer at a deeper level. And what has that done to your heart? What has it done to your sense of self?
It's just made me be a lot less likely to open up to new people who kind of show up as potential friends.
Mm.
A lot less likely. So I just kind of keep a lot more people at arm's length than I maybe used to.
Is that the kind of person you want to be? The kind of person that keeps people at arm's length?
I don't.
Mm. Mm. What kind of person do you wish you could be in the context of friendship and connection? Describe her to me.
I would like to be able to, I guess, meet people where they are and connect with them in a genuine way where we are, um, for however long that is. So even if it isn't for a long time, at least it was meaningful when it was right. So I'd like to be able to do that.
Mm. Hmm. I'm going to add something to that, okay? Because I sense a lot with you. So what I sense is if your soul could answer that question, and if I could give your soul language, what I sense is that you would like to be the kind of person that isn't afraid to trust people, that you would like to be the kind of person that isn't worried about letting people in, that you'd like to be the kind of person that could show up, be confident, and be secure in knowing that what you give to people, you're going to get back.
Yeah, yeah, that would be nice.
Steve, I told you I'm cooking with hot grease, didn't I? Hot grease tonight. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Hot grease. All right. So let me ask you this. Okay, this question is a little difficult, all right? And I come from a place of love because that's my thing, all right? I'm the love guy. But here it is. Is the problem them or you?
Um, it could be a combination.
Mm.
Since because I do have people who have been in my life for a long time and who are consider me a good friend. I consider them a good friend. You know, if they call someone if they need something, they know I'm here, and vice versa. So it's not that I can't have those relationships. It's just when people, I think it's more so about when we get older or when life changes. Some people don't always know how to maintain or even need how to maintain those same levels of connection as life begins to kind of move as life does and as we get older and evolve.
That's interesting because you've added a whole new dynamic to the conversation, and that dynamic is this: you have you're connected to people at a certain stage of your life, but what happens when you change stages? What happens when you're no longer in the position that you were that created the logic for the friendship? Did you get what I just said? Because some connections are built on struggle. Some connections are built on heartache, heartbreak. Some relationships, the logic of the relationship was we were both messy, or we were both young, or we were both silly. But what happens when you move to another stage of your life and that's not who you are anymore? And what I hear you saying is what you've discovered, and just respond to this, what you've discovered is when you move to a different stage of life, some of the people you knew before could not make the transition with you.
Yes, a combination of when I moved and a combination of when they moved. So some friends, they had a life change, like say they got married and they didn't think they could have friends who weren't married. Or
Yeah.
and,
Oh, wait. Cause you wait a minute now. Cause we about to go there. I see a yes. There are a lot of people, single people right now. I'm one of them. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. There's no way we can't talk about that. Tell me what happened when were you the one single or married?
I was the one single.
Okay. Tell me what happened when some of your friends got married and you were single and they didn't think they could be friends with single people. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, it was really one friend in particular, because like I said, I have a few close friends, and we have been good friends through junior high school, college. After college, I was in her wedding, and when she got married, and she actually said it to me in a few different occasions, was like, I I have been told that I shouldn't have single friends, so I need to go out and make married friends. So I thought that meant she would just make married friends, and then we would all be friends together. No, that meant she would make married friends and then we would make friends. That's what happened.
What in the world? That is what in the what, Steve-O? What in the bejesus? Now I get. Let me be charitable. I get on a certain level why you would want to be connected to other married people when you're just married, because you need people who stand in solidarity with you, who can give you advice. But here's the presumption that we make. The presumption is just because we're in the same situation doesn't mean we're handling the situation the same way. Just because you're married don't mean I want advice from you. Hot grease. I'm telling you, Steve-O. Here's my point. And just because your friend is single does not necessarily mean that they're going to offend, disrespect, or be a problem for your marriage. So how did it make you feel when your friend is like ostracizing you for something that you shouldn't be ostracized for?
That hurt. It hurt a lot. It hurt a lot.
You weren't mad?
Um, yes. So at first I was mad because we were in our 20s. So I was really angry. But it was like I was hurt and angry at the same time. And I didn't understand why it had to be like that. I didn't understand.
Listen, I would have been furious. You know what I'm saying? I totally understand that frustration. It's never happened to me. Like, I've never been there. My friends have gotten married, and we still maintain our friendship. Now, it does change, right? It does change. When your friends get married, it will change. And it needs to change because the primary relationship needs to be the person that they married and not you, okay? Ashia, you were okay with that, right?
Yes, I was. I mean, I thought her husband was the best, so it was not a problem I didn't see, and I expected it to change and shift, especially as we started to talk about starting a family. All of that, I was prepared for.
Yeah. Here's my last question before the break. What kind of friend are you?
I am. So I'm a ride or die friend. I'm the one. If you show up with a shovel and you're like, "Hey, something went down," I'm like, "All right, let's get in the car and see what we can fix." So that's also why I'm very careful about friends, because you can't be ride or die for everybody.
Mm, mm. Listen, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to tease out ride or die, okay? Because that's good, and then it's also not so good, okay? Okay, because there's both sides of that equation. Ashia is a wonderful spirit. What an interesting story so far, right? There's more to this. We're going to get to the bottom of it. And when we come back, we're going to decide if ride or die is the thing you probably want or should not want to be. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. I'm talking to Ashia Sims. We're talking about friendship, the difficulties, the tragedies, the triumphs, and the travails. And before we took our break, I questioned, because I asked Ashia what kind of friend she was, and she said ride or die, which I think is great, but I also want to give all of you and her the other side of it. Okay, Ashia, here's what I meant by that. It's great to be loyal, right? It's amazing to be loyal. It is amazing to be steadfast and committed to people, even when they don't deserve it, because your love and your temperament and character demands of you a solidarity, that you stand with them through the vicissitudes and the storms of life. That is a wonderful thing. Here's the negative side. This is what I was intimating towards before we took the break, that you don't want to be an enabler. You don't want to enable people in their madness or their craziness, right? And also follow them down paths and roads that you don't belong on. Being a ride or die is great if you have sense, if you have temperament, judgment, and wisdom. But you also have to be careful that you're not empowering bad behavior, bad thinking, and that you're not being led into something that's going to destroy you while they get away. What say ye about that, Ashia?
I agree 150%. That's also why I take a long time to determine if someone is a friend, because I know that about myself. My mom would always say I was loyal to a fault when I was younger, and she was always concerned because I'm sure she saw me with some people that she thought would take advantage. So I took that, I internalized it, and so I just moved slowly with my friendship. So if I'm gonna be ride or die, you've been vetted that you're not gonna, we're not jumping off of a cliff together because you're doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, and some would say, right? Uh, this is not a counseling session. This is not a therapy session. You and I just having a conversation, okay? But some would say that the propensity to be loyal to a fault never begins in our 20s or our 30s or our 40s. It begins when we're children. Can you put your finger on where that comes from?
It's probably because it maybe because I'm an only child. So I don't need people around me because I used to kind of being, I was raised as an only child, so I was used to being alone. And so when I finally found someone and picked them, it's like, you're my person as a friend. So you're going to be my friend person. And I kind of look at my friends as like an extended family. They're like the family you choose. And so if you've chosen them to be your family, then you should be loyal to them. And that means you have to be careful about who you choose to be your family. And I've been like that even as I was younger, I would always have like a little group of girlfriends that were just, those are my people. And we would do everything together and go everywhere together and get in and out of all sorts of, young shenanigans together. And because I chose well, it worked out. I think if it hadn't worked out, I would probably be a lot less like that.
Hmm. Yeah, what you say is interesting to me, and I'll tell you why it's interesting. Because I'm similar in some ways, and here's what I mean by that. I have a few people that I'm really close to, and I'm close to them. I don't need 1,000 friends. I don't need 100,000 people liking me. I could care less. I'm not a crowd guy, right? But I invest in particular relationships very profoundly and very deeply. But here's where I think we differ, and just correct me if you think I'm wrong, and that is, I don't empower the people that I am friends with to be more than what they actually are.
I'm not sure if I know what that means. I mean, like maybe seeing someone's potential versus seeing where they are right now, type of thing.
Yes, but here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying, and I'm intentionally trying to push a little bit because we're trying to have a breakthrough. We're trying to have a sense of how we can do it differently. What I'm saying is this: when you're not a big social person and you don't have a lot of friends, to use your language and my language too, you choose people that you want to be close to, right? But the tendency is you load those friendships up with expectations, with anticipations, with significances, with all types of metaphor and meaning, right? And the other person doesn't realize that they have all that on their shoulders. You get what I'm saying?
Sure, that is true.
Yeah. And so when I say that, do you think that's something that you might need to rethink or reimagine going forward?
I think as I've gotten older, I realized that it was good to find friends to meet you in the different places where you need to be met.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to cultivate good friendships for different reasons and kind of respect where they are so they don't become my all things. And that's something I think I learned from my other friendships.
Wait, you see my hands up, I'm praising. You sent me into a praise. I went into a full, because that's what I wanted to hear. Yes, you hear me? That's it right there. That's it right there. Allow different people to play different roles in your life. There are three kinds of people you have in your life. Some people will be your confidants. These are the people that you can allow into your innermost person secrets. They're there for you. They're there for your heart. They're there for you, okay? And then you have your constituents. They are there because they benefit from being around you. They're not there for you. You understand what I'm saying? They're not there because they care about you. They're there because they benefit from whatever it is you're doing. And then you have what I would call tonight your colleagues. These are the people you share a similar goal with them. They're not there for you, and they're not there to benefit from you rather. They're there because both of you are trying to get to the same place. And the moment you stop getting to that place, they're not going to be there. The moment you change your agenda, they're going somewhere else. You follow me? So different people can play different roles in your life. You have to give each one what each of them needs. Your confidant needs you. Your constituent needs the benefit. And your colleague needs you to talk vision and goal and purpose with them, because that's why they came. If you give one the other with the other, they're going to leave.
Sure.
Are you with me tonight? Are you with me tonight?
I think that was the lesson that I learned, and you just put it in really great terms. So yeah, that's true.
So here's my last question for you, okay? Thinking about yourself going forward, what do you expect from yourself as it relates now to friendship and building new relationships?
Now I expect that I'm going to show up authentically, and in whatever that means.
I'm going to add two more expectations, okay? And we can go forward with that. Here's the first one. I want you to pick someone in your life that you can talk about your friendships with. Someone who can give you good counsel and great advice. Someone who is more of a mentor, because your mentor is never your friend, okay? Your mentor, no. Your mentor is never your friend. Your mentor is there to pour into your life. You're there to learn from them. And I want you to have someone who can help you, just mentor you in relationship, so that you make sure that you can understand who's doing what, who should get what, who's your confidant, who's your colleague, who's your constituent. But here's the second thing, is I want you to trust yourself. I want you to know that you are strong enough, and that you're a woman enough, that you are bad enough, and I mean bad in a good way, to open your heart up again and to let people in. And if people stay, they stay. So you see, the people who are with you can't leave you, and the people who are against you can't stay with you. And I want you to practice that in radical acceptance, that whoever comes and stays was supposed to be here, and whoever comes and leaves, they were supposed to move on their way. Some friendships are for a season, some are for a lifetime, some are for the moment, some are for the storms, some are for the battle. I want you to trust yourself not to be fazed if you thought someone was there forever, only to discover they're only here for a month. You have what it takes to survive their leaving.
I will take that. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad we could talk.
Yes, me too.
Listen, that was my pleasure. Thank you for coming on tonight. I got to go, but I really believe that you're going to do well. Get you literally a coach to help you just figure out the nuances of friendship and relationship, and then trust yourself to know that whatever comes, you can handle it. Thank you, Ashia. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, everybody. Listen, we're going to take this break. When I come back, we're going to do some Ask Dr. Sean, and I'm going to pick up a little bit on this thing called friendship, because I got a little more to give you about that, okay? Hot grease, baby. Welcome back, everybody. Listen, friendship is not easy, and what's also not easy is getting to the place where you understand the role of friendship. I think part of what we just experienced in that conversation is someone who sort of loads up friendship with all types of meaning and significance that most friends can't live up to, and most friendships shouldn't have. Your friends are your friends, and your friends can even be your family, but understand that people are people. And whether people are your family, or people are your friends, or people are your coworkers, no human being is ever going to meet all your expectations. You're going to be disappointed. It just happens. People do it intentionally, and they do it unintentionally. She's had a journey with friendship, and I'm sure you've had one too. Here's what I often do with friends. You're my friend until you prove yourself otherwise. I don't waste my time trying to figure out what your intentions are. When your intentions show up, I acknowledge what they are, I accept what they are, and then I move based upon what you've just given me. I don't try to convince myself that, oh my God, I've known you for 35 years, how could you? No, I've known you for 35 years, and this is what you did. So now we need to adjust. I'm just saying, people. Good to have friends, but it's also good to be realistic about the friends that you have. Love the people in your life, but love them with the understanding of wisdom and not just with the flirtations of your friendly heart. Let's do some Ask Dr. Sean. I don't know why that was funny to me, but it was. So somebody sent in the video. Tasha sent in a video. Let's take a look at it now.
Hi, Dr. Sean. My name is Tasha Bethay, and I am from Piscataway, New Jersey. My question is about life. I'm 23 years old, and I've made so many pivots in my career. One minute, I'm on TV with Nick Cannon, and the next, I'm modeling for Cosmopolitan magazine. I came into the entertainment business ready to explore the different departments to determine where I fit in. I've tried working in radio, promotion, production, and marketing. Being a multi-talented person was viewed as a good thing at the beginning, but now that I'm 5 years in, people seem to be more invested in a brand with one focus. So my question is it better to be a jack of all trades or a master of one?
Great question. A lot of people have that question. Steve-O might even have that question. I think he was really paying attention during that video. I could tell. Either it was her beauty or her question that had him. But he was locked in. All right. So here's a simple answer to a very important question. Your question is it good to be a jack of all trades or a master of one? Here's my response. Which one is working for you? Because if it's not working for you to be a master of one, or if it's not working for you to be a jack of all trades, then you got to change. Because life is telling you something. Your effort, your energy, your work, your intention, they're all telling you something. I don't need to give you really any advice about which one you should choose or if you should choose. You just look at the receipts. Check the breadcrumbs. If you are making advances, if you are succeeding, if you are winning by having a lot of balls up in the air, then maybe you can do what most people can't do. But if you're not winning, if you're not succeeding, if you're actually losing ground because your attention is all over the place, then you got to make one more pivot. Now, in my own life, I have found that I can't be a jack of all trades. I have to be good at one thing or just a couple of things. I have to focus. And I've found that I get success when I drill down and focus. I do 2 or 3 things and I do them well because I've always wanted to be great at something. My goal was never to be famous. My goal was really never to be on television. My goal was to be great at something. I wanted to be great. I wanted to master something so that if you wanted this, you had to come to me because nobody else does it better than me. Now, I'm here on television because I do this really well. And so this is what happens when you focus on something. But you may have the ability that I don't have. See, the proof is in the pudding. The truth is in your story. What you should do, that answer is being given to you by the things you're already done. If you're not winning, then life is trying to tell you something. Time for you to drill down, time for you to focus, time for you to settle in. Because all of these distractions are keeping you from the thing you're really supposed to do. And maybe you're not one of those people who can do many different things, at least not many different things at the same time. Because here's the thing about that. Steve-O, you listen to this too. This is for your soul, son. That you can master one thing in one season of your life and do it so incredibly well, and then get to another season of your life and life gives you another opportunity to master something else. You don't have to do the same thing forever. You just but you have to do at least one thing really well. And it doesn't mean you have to do the rest of it for the rest of your life. LL Cool J was a rapper. Is he rapping now? No. Queen Latifah was a rapper. Is she rapping now? No. Will Smith was a rapper. Is he rapping now? He's winning Oscars, among other things. But you get the point I'm making, right? You can pivot, but you at least got to plant your flag somewhere. You got to put a seed in the ground, and you got to dare to water it. So I would say, my little humble advice, this is what I do for a living, is give advice. My advice is check the receipts. If you ain't winning, doing a whole bunch of stuff, you might want to settle in and win at least one thing. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Ask Dr. Sean. I just took the fastest sip of water in the history of the world. Let's do some more Ask Dr. Sean. Play the bumper, Hailey. Someone emailed or DM'd me this question. What'd they do? They DM'd me the question. All right, there you go. I am a school teacher and earned a modest salary, but my best friend makes a six-figure income. When we go to dinner, she expects me to split the check with her. I normally only order an entree, but she always orders a 3-course meal with wine. How can I tell her without causing a rift in our friendship that I only want to pay for my meal and not hers? Well, have you ever been in that situation before, Steve-O? Yeah, me either. Because when I sit down at the table, I get it clear quickly what this bill's gonna look like. As soon as I sit down, I'll let you know if I'm paying or not. That's just how I'm built. I don't beat around the bush. I don't do none of that. I'll tell you right now, I ain't got no money. You paying? Yes or no? Because if you ain't paying, let's get the hell out of here. We can just take a walk. And I'm fine with that. We can go get some pizza on 135th Street. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to sit down at this restaurant. Anyway, here's the answer to your question. I think you need to really evaluate whether or not your friend understands your situation sufficiently to give you the response that you need and maybe even the one that you deserve. See, people respond better when they have the information, when they know the background, when they understand, they tend to do better, unless they're not really your friends, in which case you need to know that as well. See, what I would say to my friend is this: listen, you doing it big, and I love the fact that you are, and I'm inspired by you. Like you inspire me to reach for more. I love how you're living. I love how you're spending. I love how you're eating, driving, all that. I love you doing it. And you really are doing it. You are black girl magic. You really are. And then I would say, but that's not my story yet. That's not my, notice I said yet. That's not my situation yet. That's not how I get to eat or live or drive or any of that yet. I believe my day is coming because I know the same God that blessed you with yours is the same God who can bless me with mine. And I know that my day is coming, but it's not here yet. And I have to stay within my means. I'm not able to be, to floss like that. I'm not able to go as big as you can. And when we go out to eat, I can't bear sometimes being able to pay for both of our meals. I just can't afford it. It's just not where I am right now. And I know that sooner or later, I'm going to be able to pay for all your meals and my meals. I'm going to be able to cover the whole check. But that's not the season I'm in. And I'm just asking you to really consider that, when we go out to eat. If we're going to split half, then know that your half can't be as expensive as it's been. Well, why don't we just pay for our own meals? You know what I'm saying? Let's just make that our new policy just for a season. And I can't wait for the day when I can tell you, give me that check. Because the same God that blessed you is the same God that's blessed me. That's shoe throwing. All right, let's watch a video sent by Brittany.
Hello, Dr. Sean. My name is Brittany, and I need some friendship advice. So I've had a friend that has been really standoffish lately, and I think it has something to do with the fact that her sister is dating my ex. I've seen pictures, but I haven't heard anything. So I'm just trying to see, should I just let the friendship go?
Okay. So tonight is all about friendships, right? Tonight is all about friendship. Great theme tonight. All of the questions really, even my conversation tonight, all about how to manage and handle friendships. Because when you're single, and even when you're married, the great majority of your life, you spend it with friends. You probably spend more time with your family, with your friends rather than your family. Because your friends surround you. They comfort you, they cover you, they give you the kind of peace that we all wish we could get from our families, and some of us really can't. Your question is complicated because you told me that you have a friend that's been standoffish and your friend is now dating your ex. Did I get it right? Is that person's ex? Okay. Now that is a little complicated, and you're wondering if you should let the friendship go. Well, maybe you should give it a chance to breathe. Maybe it is very uncomfortable for your friend to kind of explain what's going on in her romantic situation and scenario. I'm not suggesting that you let it go. I am suggesting that you go with the flow. If your friend is telling you that they need space because they're being standoffish, then give them what they asked for, even if they didn't ask for it with their mouths. It's their behavior that's telling you exactly what they need. And I wouldn't punish people for being honest. What's worse than having someone be standoffish with you? What's worse than that is having someone be in your space who's uncomfortable and being weird about being there. You'd much rather her be somewhere else and feel some type of way than to be in your face every day and be feeling some type of way and can't hide it. So this might be more of a blessing than you think it is. It's okay to give people what they are asking for, either directly or indirectly, and I would not take it personal. Don't even make this about you. Don't even make this about whatever your friendship. Here's my point. She is dating your ex. Fine. He's your ex for a reason. If she wants to date him, let her go do that. Let her learn the lesson that you learned a long time ago. And when he does to her what he probably did to you, she'll be back. She'll be right back knocking on your door. And I hope that when she does, you treat her with love and compassion and kindness, and you say, girl, you should have talked to me before you did it. Thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next time, beloved. Now promise me this, that y'all be good to each other, really good, because I love you.